All right, so are you ready to explore a theory that'll really get you thinking?
Hit me with it.
Okay, so what if Earth?
Earth.
Yeah, Earth. What if it's actually like a prison planet?
Whoa.
Yeah, right. We're going to unpack this audio file called Earth is a Prison Planet, and we are all captives here.
Okay.
And it lays out this whole wild concept. So buckle up and get ready for some serious, mind-bending ideas.
It is fascinating how this whole idea that maybe humanity's origins are out there in space.
Right.
This idea has popped up throughout history and across cultures.
Yeah, it is. It's like this universal question we're all grappling with.
Totally.
But this audio file, it takes things a step further. It weaves this captivating narrative, really captivating, and it claims that Homo sapiens, so that's us, didn't actually evolve naturally here.
Yeah.
Instead, our ancestors were extraterrestrials, and they were exiled here.
Exiled? For what?
Like 50,000 to 60,000 years ago for insanity and criminal behavior.
That's a bold claim.
Yeah.
It throws a wrench in everything we know about evolution from years and years of scientific research.
I know, right?
I mean, think about the fossil record and genetic analysis. Those pretty solidly point to our origins here on Earth.
Exactly. It's like, wait, hold on a second. But okay, let's just say, hypothetically, we entertain this whole prison planet idea.
Okay.
What would even make Earth a good choice for, like, a galactic jail?
Well, the audio file actually tackles that. It says that Earth was very strategically chosen. It's remote, it has diverse climates,
Okay.
and it can support humanoid life. So if you think like a cosmic jailer,
Yeah.
you'd want a place that's isolated, self-sustaining, and ready to house a variety of, inmates.
Makes sense. Like a supermax prison, but planetary scale.
Exactly.
And to really make us serve our time, the audio describes some strict conditions, like a memory wipe, no advanced tech, and basically zero contact from the outside. That is harsh.
For sure.
But question, if they were so dangerous, why not just, I don't know, get rid of them permanently?
It's a good point. Why go through the effort of setting up a prison planet if they're so bad?
Right.
Maybe there was something about them, some potential
that
made them worth keeping around, even if it meant isolation.
Like they saw some possibility for rehab.
Potentially.
Maybe a chance for us to evolve
Yeah.
and rejoin the galactic community someday. That's kind of an optimistic take
It is.
on the whole prison planet thing. I guess we'll have to see where the audio takes us.
Exactly. I'm curious to see how it supports these claims.
Okay, let's dig into a specific example the audio uses.
Right.
It points to the extinction of Neanderthals as evidence that humans are inherently violent, saying our ancestors basically outcompeted them and wiped them out.
Well, that's where things get complex. It is true that Neanderthals vanished not long after Homo sapiens arrived, but the reasons are still debated. We've got climate change, disease, maybe even interbreeding. All these factors could have contributed.
Yeah.
Competition was likely part of it, but not the whole story.
It's not as simple as one just dominating the other. Plus, think about all the stuff we don't even know.
Exactly.
Right. There could be environmental factors or events we haven't discovered yet.
It's amazing to think that our understanding of the past keeps changing with every new discovery.
Right.
What's considered fact today could be revised tomorrow.
Absolutely. So Neanderthals, maybe not the smoking gun the audio makes them out to be.
Yeah?
But this is where it gets fun. The audio suggests Bigfoot and Yeti, those cryptids,
Well, here we go.
could be surviving Neanderthals.
Yeah, that's an image. Hiding in the shadows, dodging their alien jailers.
Right.
But we got to be careful about jumping to conclusions. Some people believe these creatures are remnants of ancient hominids, sure, but we don't have concrete evidence to back that up.
Right.
Most likely, these sightings are misidentification or folklore.
Probably a bear out for a walk or something.
Exactly.
But fun to think about. Okay, so the audio doesn't stop there. It claims humanity's intellectual and technological boom is because of something called genetic memory.
Genetic memory.
Yeah. It claims this inherited knowledge from our advanced extraterrestrial ancestors is why we've come so far so fast.
Now, that's where the audio really starts pushing the boundaries of known science.
Right.
It is a fascinating concept, I'll give it that. But before we picture our DNA as blueprints for spaceships,
Yeah.
we need to unpack what genetic memory actually is.
So, like, hidden knowledge buried deep within our genes, just waiting to be unlocked?
Not exactly. Our genes definitely shape how we think, that's clear.
Yeah.
But the idea that they hold specific knowledge or memories from our ancestors, like how to build a spaceship, current science doesn't support that.
Right.
There's a huge difference between inheriting a knack for something and inheriting actual know-how.
Okay, so maybe our genes aren't tiny hard drives with ancient alien wisdom. But what about those people with seemingly superhuman abilities? Like savants.
Savants.
Their audio mentions musical prodigies, and even the sculptor who can create these incredibly lifelike animal figures after just one glance. They say this is genetic memory at work.
Savant syndrome is fascinating, no doubt. It does make you wonder about the brain's potential. But saying these abilities are purely due to genetic memory is oversimplifying it. Genetics plays a role, for sure. But environment and individual experiences matter, too. Those contribute to developing these amazing talents.
So not like Mozart was channeling his inner alien ancestor.
Probably not. But remember, there's still so much we don't know about intelligence and our genetic code. Lots of mysteries yet to be uncovered.
Okay, so we've looked at the prison planet idea, explored extraterrestrial origins, and even delved into genetic memory. That's a lot.
It is, and we're just getting started. In the next part of our deep dive, we'll explore what the audio says about alien monitoring, the Roswell incident, and the ultimate fate of humanity.
Hold on to your hats, folks, because it's about to get really wild.
You said it.
Yeah.
So before we jumped into the break, we were really getting deep into those fascinating concepts like humanity's origins and that whole genetic memory thing.
Yeah, it was pretty wild, right? Still trying to wrap my head around it all.
Lots to unpack.
The audio keeps going, though.
Oh, yeah.
It suggests that we're not only descended from these exiled aliens, but we're also being watched constantly by them.
Constantly watched.
Yeah, under surveillance. It claims all those UFO sightings we hear about
UFOs
are actually evidence of our alien jailers keeping tabs on us.
Keeping tabs, like making sure we're behaving.
Yeah, like making sure we don't step out of line or accidentally invent warp drive and escape this cosmic prison.
Escape.
Yeah. But okay, if they're so advanced, why not just use, like, invisible drones or something?
That's a good point.
Why all the flashy lights in the sky? Wouldn't that just draw attention and maybe tip us off to the whole prison planet thing?
Maybe those sightings are more about sending a message.
A message?
Yeah, a subtle reminder that we're being watched.
Like a cosmic "we're watching you" sign.
Maybe. Or totally different theory. Pure speculation, of course.
Okay.
Perhaps their technology works in ways we don't understand.
Hmm.
And those lights are just a byproduct they can't control.
Let their spaceships leave a trail of glitter in the sky and they're like, oops, busted again?
Something like that. It definitely makes you wonder about their motives.
Right.
Speaking of mysterious events, though, the audio also dives into the Roswell incident.
Roswell.
Where a supposed alien craft crashed back in 1947.
Ah, Roswell, the granddaddy of all alien conspiracy theories.
It is a classic.
The audio even says that this event led to the U.S. government getting their hands on some seriously advanced alien tech.
Roswell has captivated the public for decades. The official explanation blames a crashed weather balloon, but lots of people aren't buying it.
Nope.
The audio really plays into this, suggesting Roswell was a pivotal moment.
Like a turning point.
Yeah, a secret leap forward, thanks to reverse engineering alien technology.
Okay, but even if we entertain the possibility of alien life and them visiting us, why all the secrecy?
That's a good question.
If they're watching, wouldn't it be simpler to just make contact? Maybe give us a little guidance.
Well, the audio tries to explain this too.
Oh, really? How?
It proposes that our jailers have to follow some kind of galactic law.
Galactic law?
Like a prime directive kind of thing.
I see.
That prevents them from interfering directly with developing civilizations.
So they can watch, but they can't touch. That's harsh. Wouldn't it simple, hey, don't do that again every now and then, be helpful?
Maybe they believe true growth comes from facing the consequences of our actions and figuring things out ourselves.
So it's a hands-off approach to let us learn from mistakes.
Something like that.
Cosmic tough love.
It seems so. But here's an interesting twist.
Okay, what's that?
The audio hints that there might be a way out of this whole cosmic predicament.
Okay, now you're talking. What's the escape plan? Do we need to build a giant spaceship and blast our way out?
Not quite that dramatic.
Good.
It suggests our fate depends on whether we can overcome the flaws that got us here in the first place.
Our flaws?
Things like our aggression, violence, our destructive tendencies.
So like we're on probation and we got to prove to our cosmic parole officer we've changed. What does that even look like?
Well, the audio lays out two possible scenarios.
Two scenarios, okay.
One, we manage to repair our genetic flaws.
Repair.
We evolve into a more peaceful and enlightened species.
I like the sound of that.
maybe even rediscover those lost technologies.
Yeah.
And eventually, we rejoin the galactic community.
Rejoining the galactic community. Imagine the parties, the intergalactic potlucks, all that knowledge sharing. Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. What's the other scenario?
The other scenario is less appealing.
Less appealing, okay.
We continue down our current path of destruction.
Oh.
And we face, well, let's just say, consequences.
Consequences from our captors.
Exactly, galactic grounding.
So galactic reunion or galactic grounding. High stakes. But how do we even go about this genetic repair? Is there like a cosmic self-help book?
That's where the audio gets a little fuzzy.
Fuzzy how?
It doesn't give clear solutions, but it implies that through conscious effort, a collective shift in consciousness maybe,
Okay.
we can overcome these supposed flaws.
So changing our mindset, thinking good thoughts, spreading good vibes, but like on a global scale.
Well, it seems like it's almost like a challenge to humanity.
A challenge.
Do we move past our destructive patterns? Can we prove we deserve a second chance? The audio ends with a sense of urgency.
Urgency.
Almost a plea for us to wake up and see how precarious our situation really is.
Wow, that's a lot to digest. So we've got this prison planet theory.
We do.
Potential alien surveillance, a possible escape route through self-improvement.
It's a lot.
What's next? Do we get an instruction manual?
Not exactly. But the audio does offer some additional thoughts on the evidence for this whole theory.
Okay, I'm all ears. Let's hear it.
So we're back, ready to dive into the last part of our deep dive into this prison planet theory.
Definitely. We've covered a lot of ground.
We have.
Humanity's maybe extraterrestrial origins, genetic memory, even alien surveillance. It's been wild.
Absolutely.
But before we wrap up, what does it all mean to you? What are your big takeaways from this whole theory?
That is the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Yeah.
Even if we just entertain the audio's claims for a minute,
Right.
It makes you think about humanity's role in the universe.
It does.
Are we really as flawed as it suggests?
Yeah. Are we inherently violent and destructive? And if so, is there any hope for us to change?
Big questions.
Yeah, seriously. And honestly, the audio doesn't exactly paint a rosy picture of our future, especially if we don't get our act together.
True.
It's almost like we're teetering on the edge of some galactic disaster because our ancestors couldn't behave themselves.
It does give a rather bleak outlook, I'll admit. Yeah. But it's not all doom and gloom.
Okay.
There's a glimmer of hope in there, too.
Oh.
It suggests we can evolve, overcome these supposed flaws.
Become better, you mean?
Exactly. And maybe even earn a spot back in that galactic community.
It's like a cosmic second chance.
That's a great way to put it.
So maybe it's not all bad. What stood out to you the most in this whole theory? Anything that really made you think differently?
You know, I find it interesting how this theory taps into our anxieties about the future.
Anxieties?
We face some big problems here on Earth. Climate change, political instability.
Yeah, no shortage of those.
It can feel really overwhelming sometimes.
Sure.
And the prison planet idea almost externalizes those fears.
Externalizes how?
Like, it's comforting in a weird way to think maybe our problems are some ancient cosmic curse instead of our own doing.
I get it. It's like saying, well, it's not our fault we're messed up. We're just genetically programmed that way.
Exactly. But I think the real point of exploring these kinds of theories is the questions they make us ask.
The questions. Okay.
Even if we toss out the prison planet idea as pure speculation,
Right.
it forces us to face some uncomfortable truths about ourselves and our impact on the planet. Reminds us our actions have consequences, not just for us, but maybe for the entire future of humanity.
And our place in the universe.
Exactly.
Powerful stuff. So even if we're not literally prisoners to aliens,
Right.
we still have a responsibility to act like, good cosmic citizens.
That's a good way to think about it.
Yeah.
It's about recognizing that we're all connected. We're responsible for this planet.
Okay.
And maybe even representatives of humanity on a bigger cosmic stage, should we ever bump into other intelligent life out there.
Wow, it really puts things in perspective. Makes our little earthly problems seem kind of small.
It does, doesn't it? But in the end, that question of whether Earth is a cosmic jail,
Right.
well, it remains unanswered.
True. But maybe that's a good thing.
I think so.
It keeps the mystery alive.
It does. It lets us keep exploring, questioning, and looking up at the stars with a sense of wonder.
Well said. And on that note, we leave you with this. What do you think? Is Earth a prison planet, a cosmic oasis, or something in between? Keep those minds working, keep exploring, and thanks for joining us on the Deep Dive.